of Bootstrap. So let us wait for some time so that other people join. So let us wait for some time so that other people will join. And while the meantime, let me have the setup ready. One second. ठीक है. Correct. Hello. So let some more people join. Then we will start with the Bootstrap. So today we will be starting with the grid system. And while the meantime, let others will join. Let me have the setup ready. So as I told you, the official documentation is the best source to learn any language. So we are learning the Bootstrap, and here we will only be doing the communication from our. So this is the basic structure. Let us check that the properly it is included or not. So for this thing, let me check the buttons in the components and the buttons, components and the buttons. Let us check all are working. Control C happened, and in the body, open with live server. Yes, the bootstrap surface is successfully included in my index.html. So I will be switching this in the another browser. The screen setup is also a very important task. So this is a proper setup what we are here with us. So okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, good evening, all of you. Good evening. Please join back. Okay, so this is the setup for us, which is ready. So today we will start the grid system and we'll try to finish it because grid system is a very important, very big topic in Bootstrap. And grid system is the only system which is managing the entire responsiveness of any web page and also in a silent manner. So let us see how it works. So the grid system, okay. So the grid system basically contains four things. Okay. The grid system basically contains four things. First one is breakpoint, second one is container, third one is row, and fourth one is column. Okay. So the grid system contains basically four things. The first one is breakpoint, container, row, and column. Now, what is this breakpoint? So, let me have the things here. So, okay, already we have checked that buttons are working fine. So, let me delete it. Control S, Control A, Control Shift P, format selection, so that selection will get formatted and selected properly. So, here comes, okay. So, now let us have that what grid system contains in it. So, grid system contains breakpoint. Second one is container. Third is row, and fourth is column. Row, breakpoint, container, row, and column. So these are the four things which grid system contains internally. Now, what is this breakpoint? Breakpoints are, I can say, breakpoints is a categorization based on devices width. Okay, so as I've told you earlier, what is the need of responsiveness? The need of responsiveness comes because because the evolution of small tablets, iPads, laptop, desktop, extra large screen has come. So that is why the need of responsiveness becomes more, because it is not possible for us or for developers to design a different website for a different device. Right. So that is why it is being implemented. Now, breakpoint is basically a categorization based on the device's width. So here dimensions are devices width. And so, okay, so let me have the structure for all of you. So what we will do, let me have a break breakpoint. And after breakpoint, we have a class in fix, which we will be putting in the front. And the last one, we will be having the dimensions. Okay, so for extra small, for extra small device, we use no class, and the dimension for that small device is 0p, will be from 0px to 575px. So this is the dimension, this is the width of the screen based on which the categorization has happened. So now we'll see the next part, which is the small screen. For the small screen with the class infix as SN, and the dimension will be from 576px to 767px. And for the medium, we use MD, and the dimension will be from 768px to 991px. After medium, we have large. For large, we use LG, and the dimension will be from 992px to 1199px. And for the extra large screen, we use XL, and the dimension will be from double one sorry 1200px to 1399px. So this is what Okay, and one more thing is like extra large. We use double XL, and it will be greater than or equal to 1 for double zero p x. So this is what the breakpoints and the class infix and the dimension being defined. Okay, as I've told you, Bootstrap is all about classes. So let us have the breakpoint. So let us discuss one more thing here. So this is the breakpoint. Okay, this is the class, which class we will be using. One second. Okay, nice. And the class dimension. So if we are using the class dimension for extra small device, where the dimension of the device will be from 0px to 575px, we will not be using any class. And for the small devices, we will be using a class infix of sm, with the dimension will be from 576px to 767px and so on. Now, the second thing in the grid system is called as a container. So what is a container? Okay, container. Container, I can say container, the thing, anything which covers the rest of the thing inside it is called as a container. Or I can say, if you have seen a chocolate, so the wrapper of the chocolate is called as a container. Okay, so this is how I can say the definition or a division of a container. Now, um, so here, if you see, uh, the or I can say container is nothing but a wrapper that 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 covers the entire website, or in a shortcut, in a short form, we can call it as a div. Okay, so there are two to three type of containers that we will see later, but in order to understand the concept we have discussed here. Okay, so there are two to three type of containers which we will be learning, but before that let us have the next thing is called as a container. So container is nothing but a wrapper, the outermost wrapper of anything, or I can say a div. Div is a thing which puts entire thing in inside it, which takes the entire website inside it. So it is called as a wrapper also. Now, if I have if I have if I have a div, or sorry, so let me have a dot container. So here what is happening, this div is the wrapper of the class container. Okay, one second. So here we can see that we have a div with a class container. So this div is the wrapper, okay, and is the wrapper of the class container. Now let us see the next thing here. Okay, so let me have an example for you people. One second. not Google. I just want to show you. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Password generator.net. See this website. Okay. Here, what is happening? Here, the screen, the entire screen size is, I can say, around 1400 px. But our website, this website is only using, this is only using around 400 px, 400 pixel of the screen. So that is the beauty of this thing, that you can see that the particular screen, so that is how it works. See, you can see. So this website is around, let us inspect it and you can see this thing. So here, not this. So here you can see the width is only 900 px. Fine. But the entire screen width is around 1400 px. So that is what I want to say, that if the screen is 1400 px and the website is around 800 px, so our website will always look at 800 px only. For example, the site which I have shown right now is a password generator.net. Okay. Now, the next thing here is sorry, the row. In the grid system, the next thing which we will be taking is the row part. Now, what is a row? Row will always be inside a container. The first rule. Now, there are some rules in Bootstrap which we need to follow. That row will always be inside a container. Fine. And as soon as we create a class, as soon as we create a class, and the name of the class will be row. So let us have row. The name of the class will be row. Okay. In a parent div class container, it will it will divide the whole of the page into 12 equal columns. So that is how it works. So let me remove this thing, and here dot container and dot row. Okay, so the structure will be like that. The first thing will have to be a div with a class container, and the second thing will be have to have a div with the class row. Now, we as soon as we create a class, the name of the class will be row. In a parent div with the class container, it will divide the whole of the page into 12 equal columns. So that is how this thing actually works. Fine. So let me show you how it works. So you can see this is a div, this is row, this is a parent class container, and inside this parent class container we have a class row. Now, as soon as it works like that, so you can see 12 equal columns. So it divides the whole of the page into 12 equal columns. Okay. So that is how it actually works. Now, after row, we have column. So column is the fourth part of the grid system. Now, if you see here, column. Now, so column, how to read this column? Okay, how to read this column? So if you see here, let me show you how to read this column. Okay, so let us see this thing here. So if, as I've told you, as soon as we create a class row inside a parent div container, it divides the whole of the page into 12 equal columns. Fine. So how to read it? See, we have. So let us read from the last. where we have the div class equals to call 12, call dash 12. So here if you see, if I put call 12, now what is happening here? Call 12 means it is taking the whole of the screen that is starting from column number 1 till column number 12. Or if I say call 8, so it will take the first 8 columns and call for the last 4 columns. So if I give call 6, so it divides the page into 2 equal columns. If I give call 4 like it. So that is how in that pattern this particular thing is working. Now, if I tell you, okay, so one minute. Okay. Now, some important things about row. Okay, some important things about row. So, row is a div which contains column. Okay, there are some rules. So, this is also a rule that row is a div that contains column. Okay, now div with column must be in a row parent. Okay, so div with div with column class must be in a row parent, and call div cannot be inside a call div. Okay, div column div will not be inside a column div. Whenever you want to create a another column inside a column, so you need to create a row first, then you need to create a column. So the rules, let me summarize the rules. The rules are: first we have to have a container, we have to have a class container. After a container we will have to have a class row. After row we have to have a class column. So now after column we can not have a column inside a column. We have to create a row, and after row we have to create a column. Now one thing very important here: as soon as we create any row, that row will divide the whole page into 12 equal columns. So if I creating a column inside a row, so let us suppose earlier it were as soon as I create 12 columns, okay, and in the 12 columns I have taken 6 columns, and for the next 6 columns if I create a row, the next 6 columns will gets divided into 12 equal columns. So that is how this particular thing will work. now now okay, so let me have, okay, so let me show you how what I want to say. Okay, so here if you see, this is a row. Okay, so this is a row. So this is a container. The rule is first we have to have a div with the class container. So this is a div with the class container. Now after the div we have a row. So this is a row. Okay. Now after row we can have column. So this is the column 1, column 2. Now if I want to create a column inside a column, I cannot create it. I need to have a row inside a column. Now, as soon as I create a row inside a column, what will happen? By default, the space will get divided into 12 equal columns. So that is how the structure will work here in Bootstrap. Now, now for the container part. Okay, now for the container part. So the rule is in a Bootstrap, after body there has to be a div with class container. So the rule what I told you, that after body there has to be a div with the class container. So this is basically the structure, the main structure. So there are 3 type of container. Now we will see. Now we will see here containers. Okay, so breakpoints are also here. Okay, so this is the breakpoint structure what we have learned just now. Now after breakpoint structure we have container. So in the container part, so there are 3 type of containers. Okay, first one is simply the plain container, which is the class container dot container. Second one is the container breakpoint. Container breakpoint means which is giving the width 100% until the specified breakpoint. Okay, so that we will see with the help of example. After container breakpoint, we have a class which is called as a container fluid. Okay, which is with 100% at all breakpoint. Okay, so the table show how each container max width compares to the original dot container and dot container fluid across each breakpoint. So let us see how it works. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So here, let us have the understanding of all the second. Now, let us have some structure so that we will try to understand how these breakpoints will work. So what we do, let us have mm, we have a style, and the style what we do, we use a hash red, and in the hash red we have a background color of red and a height of, let's say, 500 px. Now what we will do, we will define this, what is the red here. So first we have the rule as the after body we have the div class container. So let us add container dash fluid, container dash fluid, and here we have the id as red. Fine. So you can see here we have the id as red. Now what we have this hello world inside it. Where is the hello world? Okay, I've removed it. So what we have a h1 hello all. So we have the h1. In the h1 says hello all. Now, now what we will do here, we will have the structure like it, and after that, let me see how the structure will work. So this is a full screen. No, reducing. Okay. So it is using the 100% of the width irrespective of the screen size. So that is what container fluid is saying. The container fluid, what is say, container fluid, which is width 100 with 100% at all breakpoints. So container fluid, see, container fluid, it is showing width of 100% at all the breakpoints. So irrespective of the screen size, if I give container of a fluid, if I give container of a fluid, okay, it is using the 100% of the width. Fine. So that is how the structure will move. Now, after that, let us see the parent class. Let us see the parent class container, plain container we will be using now. Okay, so now see how the momentum will work. Okay, see, it started now. So let me show you to full size. See, in this full size, what is happening here? In the full size, in the full screen, what is happening here? See, now we are reducing the screen size, and see this. See, suddenly if the screen tries to touches the red part, okay, it suddenly make a transition. Now again, okay. See, again same thing happen. Again same thing happen. Again same thing happen. But at this particular point of time, it used the width from 100%. Now let us see for the container class. For the extra small device, it use the width to 100%. So let us check through the inspect part. Now we have thing, one second, 1 minute, 1 minute. Responsive. See, if you want to see here, see this thing, the responsive is the size. So the definition says that less than 576, it will be 100% width. So I can say, see, 575, it is using the 100% of the width. So that is what I want to show you. Now, let us see the next thing in the Bootstrap. One second, let me adjust it. Okay. Now, after this thing, what we will see. So here in the in this container, in this plain class container, what is happening? That a quick transition is happening. A quick transition is happening for a quick transition is happening with respect to the screen size. Now, using container as the class. Now, using container the class, the screen size between large and extra large will be 960px. Okay, and extra large and extra large will be 1140px. Okay, and more than 1400 will be 1320px. So that is how that is the procedure to read this table. Now, next is container breakpoint. So here, if you see, the first one is the container fluid, second is container, third is the container breakpoint. So here, container breakpoint is earlier not in the previous Bootstrap version. Okay, it is not in the previous Bootstrap version, but and it is being added recently. Okay, as I've told you earlier, there were only limited screen sizes, screen dimensions. So the need for that thing is not required. But here, if you see, if you see that it is being added into system now. Okay, so container breakpoint is a combination of, I can say it is a combination of both the container, the plain class container, and the container fluid class. So it is a combination of both. And so let us try with the container breakpoint of LG. So let us try with LG and see how it works. So here in this, we have a div class container. Let us add dash LG. Okay, and saved it. Now the thing is here. Now the now the screen resolution, as soon as it reached to 992px. So let us check it. it is around 992 px approximately here. Okay, it will become the 100 px and use the full size of the screen. See, for the LG, LG. So from 992 px to 1192 px, it is using the 100% width of the screen. So that is why it is using. Now, after that, we will see the next thing here. Okay, is the row. Now, in the row part, let us have another green, and we have a background color of green, and yes, we will define this green. Okay, so what we use, we have a dot row, and in this row we will define this as a row, and we have a div class row and id we use green. So this is how it works. Now, okay, so this is the parent div, this is the row div. Okay, so now what is using? It is using, okay, if I don't give the height to 100 px, what is happening? See, it is taking the width of the content. It is taking the width of the content. But 1 second. So we have given the height of the content to 100 px. Now, let us see how it works. So here, let us add a div with a class row and a content row and with the ID name as green and a color with ID. So here, red is the container. So here, red is the container. Which container? Red is the parent container with class LG. Okay. And row is the row container with the ID as green. So this is how it works. Now let's change the class to fluid and see what happens. So here we will change the container class. We will change container class from dash LG to dash fluid and see how it works. So if I change this to FLUID and see how it works. So here, see, the container class fluid always takes the 100% of the width. So that is what it is taking. It is taking the 100% of the width. Okay, so Bootstrap says as we need to add any content inside a column and not inside a row, but here we have to add inside a row. So that needs to be corrected. So a row can be inside a column or container. So a row can be inside a column or a container, but column will not be inside a row. Column cannot be inside a column. So let us see, and every content will inside a column only. Okay, so now let us see how it works. So let us see the column part now, how this column part will work. Okay, so now what we will do, we will use the default Bootstrap class with the help of which we can give background color, and from now, in spite of different ideas, because Bootstrap gives us class, so let us use that. Now, what I mean to say that if you have seen here, we have used hash green, hash red. Now what is the use of this particular IDs? Because when we are using Bootstrap, the main purpose of the Bootstrap is to give the different classes, and Bootstrap is all about classes only. So let us use let us utilize them in our code. So what we will do here, we will have, let me comment out this thing. And I have dot bg dash primary, and I have a h1. So you can see, but one thing. So you can see this thing. Okay, bg dash primary. So I hope you remember that primary is the blue color. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. In the components, we have buttons. Okay, so here, if you see, if I use bg as primary, it will give me a primary. It will give me a blue color. So that is the main purpose as how it works. Now, so let us create another div with content as hello, and a class with the class name as pg primary, and the output will be like that. So that is how we have created. Now what I will do, let me put this thing right. This is how this particular thing works. Now bg dash primary. Okay, so let me put this thing here. This is the basic structure now. Now what I will do, in the bg primary, let me have a text text white. As the name says, text white means simply the color of the text will change to white. Now using another class as textY, the font color change to white. Now we will not create ID, and we will use some classes of Bootstrap. So what we will do, let me comment out and see how we will be using the Bootstrap classes. Now, so the Bootstrap flow. So the flow of the Bootstrap will be like that. 1 second. Okay, so let me share you the attendance first. Okay, so the attendance link has been shared for your reference. I request you to please fill right here, right now. So I will wait for a minute for you people to fill the attendance form. So I hope you have filled or you are filling the attendance form. So please fill it fast. Okay, so I hope you have filled it. Now, 1 minute. Okay, so now let us again see the Bootstrap flow. So the flow of the Bootstrap will be like that, that there will be a parent class container, and inside the parent class container, we have to be a class row. And inside row we will have a class column, and after column we can have content or we can have image. Or the second rule will be column, after column we have row, after row we have container, row, column. And if I want another column inside a column, so we have to create a row, then column, then content, or then image. So that will be the flow which we will be following now. Now, what we will see here. Okay. So what I will do here in this breakpoints. Okay. So let us use here a call of 12, and in the MD we will be taking the call dash MD dash. So let us try to use this thing. Okay. So now we will again use book breakpoint call dash MD, and what we will do. Okay. So here let us fix that. So where's the structure? Okay. So we have that parent div with the class fluid and the ID as right. So 1 second. Let me activate it first. Then we will change it. Okay. So we have and the ID as red, and inside it we have a div class row and the ID as. And inside this div, we again have to have a div with class bg primary, and for the call dash lg dash 6. For the 6 columns I will be taking this for 6 column, and the text will be black, and after that we will let's give the name as all 6. And again what we will do, we will copy it. So we will use 6 plus 4 10, and 4 plus 10 plus 2 is 12. So the combination will be a total of 12, and primary, let's use the second color as secondary actually, right, and the third color is as success SUCCESS. So you can see the division in this particular fashion. 1 second, 1 second. See the transition. So the transition is that, see, so that is how it works like that. Now what is happening here? Now what is happening here? If we have applied what we did, we have applied this to large screen. So here you see what is happening here. We have applied this to large screen. Now the same thing will be applicable to extra large and extra large. This same thing will get applied to extra large, and 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 the devices below large. The devices below large, okay, which is a medium, small, and extra small, will automatically change to call 12. So that is what it is happening. For the screen size above large, see, above large, it is using what we have assigned. Now for below large, it use the 100% of the width, or I can say all the 12 columns. So that is how this particular thing is working. Fine. So now let us add some more thing here, or I can say 1 minute, 1 minute. So here, what we will do, let us use some more screen sizes, because what is happening here, it is not possible for me, or it is not like that every site will works like that only. So if I want this particular thing to show in a medium device in a different pattern, okay, if I want to show this for a medium devices in a different pattern, so let us apply this thing for the medium devices or the medium dimensions. So what we will do, let us use this setting. Okay, so what we will do, we have a call dash lg dash 4, and let us apply space call dash md dash, we use 2, and here call dash md dash 4 to 6 4, and call dash md dash 4 to 6 and 6. Now see how it works. Okay, so for the medium screen, we have did the division in this pattern. So see, see the transition. Now see, it is using 2 part, 4 part, and 6 part. Okay. Now for the last screen, it works like that. Now let us apply this for the extra last call dash xl dash 6, and this will be call dash xl dash 6. Now see how it works for the extra last screen. See, it is 6 and 6, because there will be only 12 columns in a row. So half of the screen it is taking, half of the screen it is taking, and the next thing will move in the last column. So here comes to an end and of today's session, and let us see you tomorrow.